as a joke, because I was thinking about this in radio, and Robert knows this, and Nate will appreciate this. 34 after 8, 26 before 9. Good morning, everybody. Yep. Skies are blue, lights are green. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, February 11th, I believe, correct? That makes it Thursday, May 12th. Mm-hmm. It is Red Day. I do this all the time. We are 90 days away from our next holiday on the KW calendar, and you're thinking, it can't be 90 days from Red Day. It is. In 90 days, we'll be doing Red Day. Not sure what the project is yet. Our illustrious ALC will put that idea together and eventually get the information out to everybody for that. It should be, I can tell you this much. If you don't know, now you do. If you're new to the ecosystem, welcome to KWCLM. Welcome to Keller Williams. Red Day, renew, energize, donate in honor of, it's relatively close to Mo Anderson, who's our chairman and queen of culture. The second Thursday in May is relatively close to her birthday. So they've done Red Day. I'm gonna be wrong, so I'm not even gonna guess. It's been a handful of years, longer, 10-ish probably, that we do Red Day. The entire globe shuts down on Thursday, May 12th. So it'll feel like Australia's a day ahead of us because they are. Anyway, the entire globe closes their office. So we're going to instruct you now. I'm going to instruct you now because it would be amazeballs if we had all of our boots on the ground. And I have no idea, quite honestly, what our plan is, but I know that our footprint's getting pretty big, that we might start to do projects in different in different parts of our footprint. Not really sure. We've historically all been in a group together somewhere, and it's usually for something like, the nonprofits usually, where we're doing something to help out somebody with, soup kitchen stuff. And in the past couple of years, because of COVID, we've been doing some hands-off stuff. So we're hoping to get back to a project, and this is amazing. We will find a project, even if we're at a soup kitchen. Brad Kelly shows up with a chainsaw to cut the baguettes. The chainsaw will arrive with Brad Kelly, and a front-end loader will arrive with Jason Westcott, without fail. We were working at, I'm going to get it wrong, it's in Somersworth. It was a house for single mothers, and we were, I don't know why, because we got our hands on some sod. So we're like, we're going to lay down a new lawn. This happens in a day, by the way, Robert. So we're going to lay down a new lawn. I look over, Westcott and Brad Kelly are digging out the yard. I'm like, just a thought. Mind you, I'm drinking my latte over in the corner with my wimple on. I'm like, just a thought. Has anybody called Dig Safe, or are we just letting this ride, right? Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing. Yeah.
Dig Safe?
Yeah. Yeah. Pesky facts. Why would we look into that? Yeah.
Well, who needs it?
We made it on the news when the house exploded. Nobody died, which is good. So I'm telling you right now, it should be a day that you rope it off and be available. It's a Thursday, so you probably don't have a closing. Your closings typically land on Fridays historically. So I'm just asking you on the second Thursday of May 12th, which is 90 days from today, rope it off, be available. It's a great time. We usually get our work done. We've had some projects where we were waiting for the sun to come back up. But usually we're done in a reasonable amount of time. And by the 4 o'clock hour, we'll be somewhere lubricating our wounds. With beverages. Yeah. So
do you just walk around with a thesaurus and like what oh my God, that's hilarious. I can't even think of the words I want to use to describe the euphemisms that you're using.
Okay. Red Day, 90 days out. Write it down. Thursday, May 12th. So much going on. I want to remind everybody.
It's been a week.
Yeah. It hasn't it? I feel like
it has been a week.
I've been marching around, leaning into my long haul COVID symptoms. Anytime I forget, like yesterday, I'm sitting in Kaylee's office because she was talking about, hey, while you're at family, if I run into certain people, we want to capture video for certain projects that we're working on, and just in general, if I anytime I can run into anybody and just get any intel to share with you guys, I would. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have it with me. And she's like, what? And I'm like, my thing. And I mean, because I'm a dork, I carry it with me. It's in my leather bag at all times. And I couldn't, and she's saying dongle. I'm like, no. And then I pulled it out, and Tristan's like, your gimbal. I'm like, that's the word. I'm like, I'm really starting to fail. I do have the COVID fog, I think. Weeks later. I think it's a malaise of that and senility. We really don't know where the line is drawn, but Nonetheless, we are in the month of February. Welcome. We are doing Timmy and the Listing Factory as a contest for your golden ticket. There is an opportunity for you to win. All you need to do is keep signing listings. It is the most signed listings in the month. So I'd love to know where people are at. If they want to share their metrics in the chat, that would be great. Today, we have a full slate of stuff going on at 11 o'clock. Coffee with a Capper, Stephanie Inglis from Lake Life Realty. So we figured out she's celebrating her 5th year on Bree's team. Bree's team has been with us. Bree joined us 7 years ago. And I know the first person she added was Dr. Brendan Connolly. And so that means he's 6 years in the making, which is pretty incredible. So she's got a great team. We're going to talk to Steph. Her and her husband just had 2 short people. So she is now a busy mom with twin boys and also on one of our best teams. So she'll be spending some time with myself and Brad, who will probably bring a chainsaw because why not? That's 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock, we're doing a post-bold huddle because we know, and we saw it in real time yesterday, Robert, people get excited about bold. Week 1's very exciting, or step 1's very exciting. Step 2, we form teams, which was last week. And then the accountability sets in. And people are like, oh, my God, 100 conversations. I have to have 20 conversations, like 20 contacts a day, 20 conversations a day. I got so much intel Wednesday night. People just like, I'm hyper. I'll pick on Ryan Haskell from Lake Life Realty. She's like, I'm hyperventilating. I'm like, calm down. I'm like, first of all, because here's what we know. If you've been in bold, there's a lot of people that show up with fake metrics. Would people actually lie about their numbers, Tim? No, it's never happened in real estate history. People show up and they, what do we got? Is that a pony? What is happening?
He needs to go out, and he's not happy that I'm talking to you.
Oh my God, I can talk about bold while you let the pony out. That is a giraffe. How many dogs do you have, Robert?
We got the 2. Go sit down. I'll be with you in a minute.
This is amazing. To me, this is the best part of COVID. I've met more people's dogs, cats, spouses, partners. Yeah. Kids walking in the background getting cornflakes while moms are on calls. Yeah, best part of COVID. Anyway, so with bold, we know the momentum start. Like you got through yesterday's class, and you're like, okay, I'm going to get back at it. And people typically leave their activities, their lead gen activities, till next Monday. And whether you have closings or appointments or whatever today, but you sort of lean out of it. So we want to always have a post-bold huddle the day after class to pull the momentum into the weekend and into next week. So you're not Wednesday night cramming for your chemistry exam on Thursday morning yet again. So that's happening today at 12. You get time with your brokers today at 1 o'clock. And, of course, Robert is available at 2 o'clock for open door lab hours for Command, which is at kwtechtv.com. So a ton of stuff going on. Robert, I have to share with you, in conversation with some people that are exploring their opportunities with real estate, and as they, meander through and they interview and they talk to Mark and Krista and Virginia and Jeff. I met with a couple of people in the last couple of days. And what's really cool, because they can get there without having their keys because they're not here yet, I've been dropping into conversations with people that are investigating what offers they should come play with. KWTechTube.com, which if our agents aren't aware of, it's pretty open source. So if you are in conversation, here's a growth tree building activity you could do. If you're in conversation with somebody that you know is at the Gulag, one of the many brokerages on the planet that underserves their agents, you could be like, you know what, you should check out KW TechTube because it gives them an opportunity to see everything on there except for contracts, right? And our agents get that same content, obviously, when they go to the LMS, which is KWCLMtraining.com.
Yeah, but they get different stuff at the LMS because...
1,000%. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Just keep in mind, the KW Tech Tube is where you're seeing the live trainings.
Sure.
We record them and do them live there.
Yep.
But what you get at the LMS that you don't get there is focused, concise, short lessons that are searchable and kind of a little bit more chunked down
for bite-sized.
Purposeful learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we call it Wicked Smart to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Wicked Smart to go. I like it.
Grab and go, wicked smart stuff. So, grab bag knowledge. We'll come up with some sort of an acronym because Gary will make us make an acronym because you can't just call it something. Anyway, so that's going on. And, of course, next week, and I'm going to keep saying this till somebody tells me it's not working. I think you can still use FR22 as your code when you sign up for Family Reunion So if you go there now, and clearly at this point you might not be like, I'm going to grab a plane ticket and a hotel room. If that's not your endeavor, that's fine. You can still go in person. There are still some seats available because they did shrink it. And here's my hope. I said to Kaylee and Susanna, I'm hoping, since they're talking about maybe 10 or 12,000 people, and normally family's been close to about 20,000 people, but they curtailed the numbers to keep just the everybody breathing on each other down to a minimum. Inside the convention center, if you are headed in person, masks required and proof of vaccination and or a PCR test within the last 72 hours. You're doing that when you get there and you get your badge, because once you've proved that you're valid, you don't have to keep showing it. They're not going to be looking for papers every time you go through the door. But anytime you're using any sort of a transit between your hotel and the convention center, and anytime you're in the convention center, mask on, just so you guys know. So if that's happening, that would keep your ticket at $9.99, and I think I think FR22 puts your digital ticket at $129. So you have that content for 60 days pass, so you get into the last week of April where you can see all the content, and you get to spend time with Gary with either your pony like Robert has or your cat on your couch from the comfort of home. So if you're not going to head to Orlando, you can still do it digitally at a reduced price. FR22 is the code to throw in while you're signing up, and I believe it still works. Other than that, what else do we have, Robert? What did I miss? March 3rd, 3322, the awards ceremony.
There you go.
And if Robert looks busy and stressed, it's because of the stress. So we are obviously putting together our and did we decide? I don't want to spoil anything. Are we sharing what we're calling them? Because I was calling them the Kellys, and then Brad thought we were having a show about him. Yeah. Are we going to hold off? The Kellys. It's like a new 8:30 show on ABC with Brad throwing furniture.
We got one more thing to get done before we can make that. One more piece.
A very creative new name for the awards coming to a screen near you. And again, that's 4:29 p.m. on March 3rd. And I'm sure we'll open the doors a little bit so people can come in and hang out. There's going to be an opportunity to be in a room with all the people that choose to view it in real time. And obviously getting produced by the genius Robert Vincent. So it'll be visually and aesthetically pleasing. Yes? No? Maybe?
No pressure there.
Never any pressure. Dude, anytime I'm bragging on a coaching call nationally about my market center tech trainer, I'm like, he worked at NASA. His head looks like a planet, like just for proof.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah,
It's
like Jupiter with a goatee. Yeah. Anyway,
as I put my head down so that you can see the surface of Jupiter.
Yeah, and I think the only other thing we've really left out at this point, group from the market center. We do have obviously a bunch of agents that are heading down to family, and then there's certain people from the staff that are heading down. And there are two ways, by land and by sea and by air. Nobody's taking a boat. I'm just kidding. So I believe there's a couple of people that are flying because they're not insane and they want to get down there and get back in a timely fashion. And then there's some people who are going via automobile. So I'm not promising that there'll be check-ins from that vehicle, but I'm almost guaranteeing you'll probably get a few ad hoc videos are going to get tossed out occasionally where you might see, me filming from the back seat, watching our fearless leader drive his F-350 down 95 South. So tell the world our story. My wife's just like, what if there's a blizzard? Because, during the holidays, there was that storm and all the cars were off the road. So, it's going to be interesting. And it's next week. We leave Wednesday morning.
Next week.
Yes, Wednesday morning.
I can't believe it's already here. The
blessing of that is you don't have to tolerate my voice or my face on the KWikStart for a good solid week because we leave Wednesday, and I'm not back in here until the following Friday. And again, we'll be checking in from Orlando, but I will not be because the scheduling of events and breakout sessions, 8:30 will not be a chance for me to get with you guys. So Robert will be driving for the most part. Yeah, Robert, Zoe, Babs, Westcott, all the people. So.
Yeah. Jupiter will be handling the KWikStarts.
It's gonna be great. I think that puts a bow on it, Robert. Everybody,
no, it doesn't put a bow. We have a very important ask. I was waiting for you to get you kind of alluded to it a couple of times. We have March 3rd, our award ceremony, which is to be named.
By all means, sir. Go ahead. Yeah.
The proudest moments from last year. We need you. This is a plea for you to absolutely look into your emails and find the email from marketing. Find the Virginia just sent one out. We need you guys to give us your proudest moments from last year. Last year we had an overwhelming amount. It was great. We want to top that this year. So please, please, please reach into your bag of tricks from last year and look at that and say, what was my proudest moment from last year? What am I most excited about? And share that with us. It can be a couple of sentences. Don't write a book. We don't have time for a book, but write a couple of sentences about something that really mattered and you're very proud of. Put that information along with the photograph into the Google Drive. If you need information on how to get that, it's in your email, and we're constantly pushing that information out to you guys to get it. So that is very important. I need that. Please, 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 please.
Yeah, and this could be a simple. Great point, Robert. If you're a team lead, if you're a rainmaker, and somebody on your team did something extraordinary, if you are a rainmaker and your team for the first time ever eclipsed $1 million in GCI, they know who they are. We added to that list this year. We added another $1 million GCI team this year to the Market Center. So if there's anything like that you want to share, it doesn't, because you're thinking, well, I don't have it. Well, I got a third cat. Like, I mean, we'll celebrate the cats. Don't get me wrong. But if you feel like you have nothing to celebrate, we want you to re-examine that and maybe exhaust the opportunity to celebrate yourself. But then look around, like who are you working with? Have you been a part of the mentorship program and your mentee kicked ass and took names? We want to hear about it. If and outside of the business realm, I do believe our dear friend Dr. Westcott last year, and nobody knew this because he kept it very close to his close to the vest while he was in the hospital. But he shared a picture, which I know shocked a lot of people. He shared a picture of him in the hospital bed when he was in with COVID. Because COVID kicked his ass all the way to the hospital bed, you know, and he shared that, and that was, I think a lot of people were like, oh my God, I didn't even know, because he doesn't complain. He just does a great job with JV, keeping us all out of jail. So those kind of stories, you know, if you've got something like that, anything, it doesn't have to be business. Well, it needs to be anything in your life.
Steve Barkdale just put in the comments something that really kind of sums it all up. He says his proudest moment was obtaining his license and joining KWCLM.
Perfect.
I love that.
Yep.
You know, that is an incredibly, it's a wonderful statement for all of us. And we share in having you here, and we're proud to have you with us as well, Steve.
Yeah, we're super fortunate. And you know, right back to, you know, before we escape and get you guys on with your day, KW in general is a phenomenal model. It's a phenomenal company. And you really have to understand, and you'll hear this echoed by our top producers. I think I say this all the time because it's really funny and it's true. And he was yelling at me because I've only ever been here, right? I trusted Nate enough that I just came here. I didn't shop around. I don't have a real great, this is why I'm at KW story. I trusted Nate, then I got here, and then I realized it's awesome, and I stayed. Troy Williams said, if you've only ever been here, you should have to take a year off campus. You should have to go to the gulag, right? You should have to go somewhere else and see what you don't have when you're not here, which I really appreciate. And again, we're not for everybody. And thank God, Robert, we don't have the parking. Right. But if you want to be in real estate, if you want to be a business person, and if you want to be at a brand and a market center with leadership like Nathan Dickey, that celebrates agent-centric lifestyle, and now Gary's turned that again, right? Because most brokerages are broker-centric. KW has always been agent-centric, and now we want to be client-centric. Because when you focus on the client, everything emanates up. And the support and talking to people who are, you know, wondering, like when Steve was shopping around and deciding where he wanted to play and do his real estate business, most of the time when you're in these conversations, and I think, and this was certainly for me too, because I didn't really think about it because I just knew I was going to come play with Nate. Most agents, as they're getting their license and they're looking into this conversation and starting to do their investigations, they don't realize they're not getting hired by us. They are choosing who they want to be powered by to support their business, right? The agent is really looking at the market center and the staff here and their fellow agents. And do I want to be there and be a part of that conversation and be a part of that team that's going to support me? It's not a hiring process where like, oh, I hope they're hiring and I hope they'll hire me. We don't want to hire people. We want to recruit talent. We want to attract talent. So if you're having those conversations, for sure, without fail, it is Virginia in Stratford County in southern Maine. It is Krista up in the mountains region towards North Conway. It is Mark Lesniak around the lake, of course, and Jeffrey down here running the whole show. If you've got a conversation, a warm lead, not like I went to an open house and I saw this agent, she's really cute, you should hire her, Jeff. see you use the wrong word right away. I'm in the middle of a deal with Robert Vincent, and he's awesome. And I think if he joined us, his business would grow. That's a warm lead, right? And bring these opportunities so they can build your growth tree so you can have passive income from our 401KW that is profit share, which incidentally we'll be teaching in a couple Fridays. I think I'm done.
Okay.
It's only iced tea. So I saw in the comments somebody's like, "How much coffee has he been drinking?" Yeah, I don't know. It's my COVID rush. I'll be sound asleep in 10 minutes. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, we really appreciate your time today. We appreciate everything you guys do. Don't forget, sign listings in the month of February for the contest. Keep having those conversations. Nobody here is having a conversion issue. Everyone here is probably having a conversation issue. You cannot convert where you don't converse. Talk to your humans. If you need help putting together the marketing plan that's going to augment your conversations and your story to your people, then you need to get to Babs and have a conversation with her. You can look at her full suite of services at KWCLMmarketing.com or Time with Babs with an S, timewithbabs.com. If you need Robert's face, don't forget he's available today at 2 o'clock, open door lab hours for command at KWTechTV.com. And you can book him at timewithrobert.com. If you need Jennifer Vashon or Jason Westcott, just bug Jason. Let's buy that domain for him. Just bug Jason. It's 603. Just bug Jason. 603-234-2589. And if you need my face, it's meetwithcoach.com. Questions, comments, concerns, help with a script. You need to be talked off the ledge because you're hyperventilating about bold. It's 603-834-2856. We'll see you in and around the Market Center. We'll certainly see you next week live from Orlando, and have a great week.